All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Yankees Recap. This is where we recap all the latest news, updates, and really everything going on in the Yankees community. Now, the Yankees, they're coming off arguably their best win of the season, led by, of course, Joey Gallo's first home run in pinstripes, and that's where we're going to start today. I'm going to recap that entire seventh inning because it was really picture perfect. It could not have gone better as a Yankee fan to be able to watch that. And what's awesome about it, or part of why it's so awesome, is that it all started with 2 outs in the seventh. So the Yankees, having just given up a home run, a porch job really, to Jared Kelenic in the top of the seventh, they were down 3-2. And then with 2 outs, Aaron Judge, he finished a long at-bat with a line drive single. And at that point, you're feeling like, there's 2 outs, but somewhat optimistic because we're entering the heart of the order. Well, Giancarlo Stanton, he followed up Judge's single with a single of his own, and that set the stage for Joey Gallo, who launched the ball a mile into the air. And at the time, right when it was hit, there's 2 things that were up for debate. It was, 1, is it even deep enough to go out? And 2, was it going to stay fair? Well, fortunately, both those things happened. The crowd erupted, go ahead, 3-run shot, and this led to Joey Gallo's first ever curtain call as a Yankee. And it also led to a great quote post-game that Meredith Marakovitz got from Joey Gallo, and I'm going to play the clip right here. Listen to this.
You've also received your first Yankee Stadium curtain call. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I was thinking in my head, 10-year-old me would be crying right now. He wouldn't believe what's going on. So I didn't really know what I had to do. They're like, hey, go. They want a curtain call, go on the stairs, and first time I had to do that, so that was exciting.
That's a great quote by Joey Gallo, who you could not be happier for, especially because, right after he got traded, he was struggling. He really did not look that great at the plate. And then today, he has a great game. Even besides that go-ahead 3-run homer, he had 2 doubles, and one of them led to a run scored that tied the game, which that leads us into our next topic, which is the Yankees are 6-1 since acquiring Joey Gallo and Anthony Rizzo, and they are now 10 games over 500, which is a season high, and that brings them to just 1.5 games back of the second AL wildcard spot. But all of a sudden, I don't know if I'm going to settle for a wild card, because to me, the way I see it is this: the postseason is secured. And don't get me wrong, I would be very happy with that, with the way the season has gone. But all of a sudden, we're now just 3 games back of the Red Sox in the loss column. The Red Sox, really ever since the trade deadline, because, and Red Sox fans have said this themselves, they didn't do enough. All they did was went out and got Kyle Schwarber, who I'm not even sure if he's healthy yet. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. We have made up an incredible amount of ground, and not just against Boston, but we're now just 5.5 games back of the Rays for first place. And the reason that excites me is for 2 reasons. 1, when you're 5.5 games back, that's what I feel like when you're officially in it. The Yankees can now, I don't even want to say can dream. They are legitimately in the race for the American League East. But what also excites me is that, if the Red Sox were still in first place, if that's who, as of right now, we had to chase down, it would still kind of be in the back of my head where okay, yeah, we're close to them, but at the same time, they've had our number this entire season. But contrary to that, on the Rays end of things, we've actually played well against them in the last 2 series, and both of those series were in the Trop. So from that aspect, you consider that, it's actually reasonable to believe that we could catch them. And when you look at the remaining schedule, our final series of the season is a 3-game set at home against Tampa Bay. So if it comes down to the wire, it could get quite interesting in the Bronx. So all of a sudden, we are going from thinking the season might be over. I never actually felt that way, but I know a lot of Yankee fans did, and I don't even blame you with the way things were going. But after all we've been through, all these, multiple COVID outbreaks, injuries, players underperforming, insanely underperforming, we now have a shot at the American League East, which is crazy. And as for Boston, we have 6 games left against them, 3 at home, and then 3 in Fenway. So that's what the postseason race is looking like right now. We have one more piece of news before we wrap things up. This is going to be a quicker recap. Also, one more thing. I didn't actually write this down in my notes, but if you didn't hear, Gary Sanchez tested positive for COVID-19. So for now, Rob Brantley's up. Expect Gary to miss probably the next 10 games or so. Now, apparently he is vaccinated, which under those conditions, you can test negative twice and come back before the required 10 days. But, to be safe, don't get your hopes up. I would just expect Gary to miss the next 10 days. But with Kyle Higashioka, even though I don't consider him to be on the same level as Gary Sanchez at all, I think we'll be in okay hands for the next week or 2 with Kyle Higashioka as our catcher. Moving on to our third and final topic, we got some more information and some pictures regarding the Field of Dreams game. If you didn't hear, or if you're not aware, August 12th is when we'll be on this beautiful Iowa field celebrating the whole Field of Dreams event, of course, based off the movie, which I've only actually seen once, and I don't remember actually liking it all that much. There's very few baseball movies that I actually enjoy. My favorite, I guess, would probably be, Sandlot is definitely up there. 42 is up there. Moneyball probably takes the cake as number 1. Also, 61, directed by Billy Crystal, is up there as well. But anyways, yeah, so as for the schedule, August 12th is when we'll be on that Field of Dreams field, and then we have a day off. And then following that, we go to Chicago to finish up the series, 2 games at Guaranteed Rate Field, which that probably takes a cake for the worst name for any stadium in baseball. Either that or the park we just played at in Miami, Lone Depot Park. Anybody, if I was the owner of a baseball team, I would really be looking twice at who I'm selling off the rights to name my ballpark, because Guaranteed Rate Field and Lone Depot Park, that just isn't it. But anyways, we got some pictures on what the Yankees are going to be wearing during that game. They'll be wearing road throwback grays. They're kind of the current uniform, just in a much more old-fashioned style. There's no stroke around the New York. It's just blocky navy blue New York letters with an old-fashioned hat. They're pretty cool. I don't have a problem with them. I kind of like the uniforms we wore for the Fenway Park 100th anniversary back in 2012. I think those were a little bit nicer, but I'm not going to complain. These are cool, and the pictures they released to advertise these are really dope as well. But yeah, that's all we got for this Yankees recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was kind of on the quicker side, but I'm also recording this at like 2 a.m. and I got to head out to the John Boy Media office in about 6 hours, so I got to catch up on some sleep. I plan on doing another one of these on Sunday. And last thing I want to say, it's looking like we're going to hit 50,000 subscribers this weekend, which I'll probably make an official video and probably do a giveaway too when the time comes. But I just want to say I appreciate you guys so much. I could not be more grateful for this. I never thought when I started this channel, or when I started going hard with it, that I would reach this number. And that goes for all platforms. On Twitter, if you don't follow me on Twitter, by the way, at Dan Allen Rourke, we just hit 10K the other day, and on Instagram, we'll be hitting 60K soon at Yankees Avenue. So the fact that we're now about to hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube, which to me kind of holds the most weight out of all of them, I don't know. I feel like you just got to work a little extra hard to get subscribers. So just want to say thank you guys so much for that. Could not appreciate you any more than I do, truly. And yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I will see you on the next Yankees recap. Let's go, Yankees.